folks, in this short film I'm going to have a go at making some dehydrated rhubarb chips. I've never done it before and I want to see what they're like. Let's go. So here's my lovely big rhubarb plant. And I'm going to take some bigger stalks and I'm just going to pull and twist at the same time to break them off like that. Okay, so these are some hefty beasts and I've picked the bigger ones, and actually picking them will prolong the growing season of the rhubarb. It will send up some more shoots, which is even better because I need to make wine and jam yet. Anyway, what I'm going to do is just trim that end rooty bit off there and cut the leaf off of each of these ones. So I'm going to take the rooty bit just there, straight down with the knife and through. I can wash that off there. And then at the other end of the leaf, where you've got these veins just here and the connection to the leaf, we want to get rid of that. This stuff here is way more tastier than this stuff at the top, but I'm going to cut it there. And now I've got one nice big rhubarb stalk. So the bits that I've cut off are going to go to compost, and this I'm just going to give it a wash under the tap. Right, one nice clean rhubarb stalk. I've got to do the same with the others, and then we're going to trim them. I'm not peeling them, incidentally. The peel is absolutely fine. And if you're wondering why I've got a mucky t-shirt on, I've had a very busy day and I've just not bothered changing it. I make no apologies. Okay, these are all now nicely trimmed and cleaned, and I'm going to weigh them now to see what they weigh pre-dehydration. So I'm just going to balance them on the scales as best I can. Hopefully this is going to be accurate. I need to make sure that there's nothing propping them up. Okay, that says 723 grams of rhubarb. Now I imagine most of that content is water, and that will disappear during the dehydration, and it will be very interesting to see what the content is that's left afterwards. I now need to slice these down, and I'm going to do so using this device and wearing a safety glove because it's blooming sharp. Okay, so doing that gives me a slice or a chip, which is, I would say, 3mm deep. I think that's fine. I don't want to go any finer than that because I think they'll be too fine. So there's lots of this to do now. And I'm not worrying about the flappy bit at the end. I'll come back to you when these are sliced. Okay, that's all chopped down, and there's been a little bit of wastage. So what I'm going to do is reweigh it. I'm going to put it in this bowl. I'll just zero the scales if they detect the weight of the bowl. Nope, we're good. So I'm just going to pop all this into there. I'll come back to you. Now I'm glad I did that because they've gone from 723 grams to 665 grams. Right, now I need to take them from there and put them on the dehydrator rack. So it's simply a case of just getting them on and layering them. And what I don't want to do is have overlap, because that will reduce the ability of the dehydrator to take the liquid out of this. So this is going to take me a little while, as you can appreciate, putting all this together. So there's no point in you watching me do a full tray. I will come back to you when the tray is completed. So that is the first dehydrator rack completed. But now what I want to do is sprinkle a little bit of just normal household granular sugar over the top of the rhubarb. And the reason I'm doing this is that the rhubarb is extraordinarily bitter. And it's not that tasty as is, but a little bit of sugar goes a long way with rhubarb, and it really does make a big significant difference to the flavour. So now I'm going to put my rhubarb into the dehydrator, and this is the top shelf, so in that goes. And I've got room for another 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves beneath it. It's quite repetitive from this point onwards, so I'll come back to you when the dehydrator is full. See you then. Okay, so there we go. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 full shelves, and the bottom one's barely got anything on it, but it will act as a catcher if anything falls through from the ones above anyway. If they do fall through to the bottom bit, it doesn't matter because there is a little safety tray at the bottom too. And just to show you again, they're not overlapping, they're all nicely next to each other. Right, my food dehydrator is a TurboWave Bio. It wasn't expensive, it was less than £100, and it's been great value since I've had it. I'm going to whack this up to 70 degrees, I think. Now, I usually go for sort of 60, 70, sometimes 80. If I'm dehydrating apple chips and they're bigger pieces than this, then I would go to 80. But I'm going to try it on 70, and I'm going to put it on for 10 hours, which is an overnight dehydration. Okay, that's it. It's quite simple, it's quite straightforward. They're in the dehydrator, they've got to dehydrate overnight. There's nothing else for me to do right now other than enjoy the sunshine, possibly with a beer or a cider. So, in the morning, I'll come back to you, I'll give you a little update, we'll have a look what we've got, see if it needs any more dehydration or not. Right, catch you then. Okay folks, it's the next morning, let's have a look at that rhubarb. Okay, you can see that it has dramatically shrunk, and this on top is extremely crisp, I think. Let's just tell. You've got that sharpness of the rhubarb. It almost seems citrusy. Oh, the punchy flavour really gets you. The sweetness of that little bit of sugar is very, very delicate. It's still overall quite a strong and not sweet rhubarby taste. So I think I can safely say that these on top are definitely done. Underneath, the bottom shelves are the ones where sometimes it takes a bit longer. That'll just be with heat rising. No, this feels okay as well, actually. Try one from the bottom. Now this one's a little bit sweeter. It's nice. It actually tastes like a really healthy snack, or something that you might put on breakfast cereal, for example. So let's get them out and let's see what they weigh now then. So here it all is. I need to get them from there and into here. So I'm just going to weigh that first of all. So that's 89 grams. I'm going to zero that. Let's get these added. It's going to take me a little while. I'll come back to you. So there we go, a net result of 57 grams after dehydration. So what I've got here is only 8.5% in terms of the weight of what went in there. It went in at 665 grams, it came out at 57 grams, 608 grams of water have been dehydrated from the rhubarb, and that's pretty efficient. So this has given me some good ideas for September. For when the apples start falling off my trees, I'm going to dehydrate them, I'm then going to break them down and I'm going to powder them, and then I can store them for even longer. So I should end up with a ton of actual apple powder, which I can then just use in brews like cider. I'm quite looking forward to trying that because I've never done it before with apples. I have done it with other fruit and it's worked really well. So yeah, the dehydrator works. The dehydrated rhubarb tasted just fine. It'll be good in food, it'll be good on cereal. It's just nice to eat as a little snack. So have a go for yourself. Hope you enjoyed the film, folks. Catch you next time. The film that you've just watched is a Moss Home and Garden production. You can find more by going to www.mosshomeandgarden.co.uk. I'd just like to say thank you very much for supporting my YouTube channel and for watching my films. It really is very much appreciated. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel in order to receive future updates about the home and garden films which I upload. You can find my YouTube channel by going to www.mosshomeandgarden.co.uk. Please click on the red subscribe button. When you've done that, a little bell will appear. If you press that also, then you'll get future updates about the films which I upload. If you like my films, if you like my style of filming, then you might also like my travel channel, which you will find by going to youtube.com/Stuart Moss or type in www.mosstravel.tv. Again, if you could subscribe to that channel, it would be hugely appreciated. If you'd like to get Moss Home and Garden updates on Facebook, then please open Facebook and do a search for Moss Home and Garden, and you will find the page. If you like the page, then you will get future updates on there. And if you'd like to connect on Instagram for home, garden and travel photography, as well as some stories, then my username is StuMoss, STUMOSS. If you'd like to connect on Twitter, then my username is @StuartMoss. And if you'd like to contact me about film usage or any other issue, please just email me on stewmosshomegarden@gmail.com. Once again, thank you very much for supporting my channel, for watching my films. I do appreciate it. I'd just like you all to have a great day.